What is going on, guys? Happy New Year. First episode of 2023 for the Gamers for Life podcast. Each and every Friday/Saturday discussing all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jerrell. With me is my right-hand man, my ABXY, Arthur Thomas, living the Vita remote life. What is good, my guy?
Nothing much. My commute was awesome. I started working from home. I started working from home a week ago. And Joey, because you know me, I don't own a car. I've never owned a car. I've never had a license. 34 years old, never had a license. And it's a funny thing is, throughout my life, I've always just lived. Each job I've had has got me closer to where I lived. First job in Long Beach was like a 2.5 hour commute one way because of public transit. And then GameStop was a bus ride away. and then the Holiday Inn. And then the Holiday Inn was close. And I moved, made it closer. And then eventually moved out here, got a job 20 minutes down the road. And 20 minutes down the road became 20 steps from my bed.
Well, kudos to you, man. There's nothing better than rolling out of your bed and 5 seconds later turning on the computer and just grinding it out.
I still want to be like semi internally professional, not full on lazy. So it's like, cause my thing is like work X hours, break X hours, lunch X hour breaks, X hours off. I'll wear like my PJs or whatever until like that first break. Then I'm going to like actual jeans and like I'm not just like full on, World of Warcraft, no lifing it, or my gut's just full of Cheetos or something.
Well, good for you, man. And then obviously here on the show, we are joining back the legend himself, Church, back in the building here with us here for a very important episode. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Feeling honored to be part of, the first episode for this year. So I'm excited to be back. And Arthur, finally, you welcome to the club from working from home for the remote.
Yes.
Even after the major portion of the pandemic, you finally made it. I'm happy that you did. It's good, man. I do the same. So I do enjoy the flexibility of like going to the kitchen, grabbing some food, man. Save so much money.
Yes. Absolutely.
I was gonna say, because I know, Jerrell, I don't know how much your thing has changed since like the pandemic's kind of cooled down, but you're still remote too, right? Or did they pull you back into office?
No, still remote, man. They made us official.
The three amigos.
They made us
Look
official
at us.
remote.
Look where we are.
Yeah. Well, it's great. Yeah, everything's changed. Yeah, everything's changed. I mean, it's kind of wild. So I'm like, hey, I'll take it. So if you are just joining us here, welcome. Be sure to like and subscribe here on the YouTube channel to get the chance. And then also on the podcast application of your choice if you prefer to listen to the episodes. Then every now and again, Arthur does the streams via Twitch for the games that he is playing with some friends and whatnot. You can check out all of our stuff by going to linktree.com/gamers4life, the number 4 life. That is the one-stop link to all of our stuff that we still do. And here at the Gamers for Life podcast, we read the news while you listen to what you choose by clicking on the links of the time code within the description of the episode. So you can choose what you want to listen to. And that is going to be a pretty significant thing for this episode because there's a lot of stuff to go through today. A lot of really great news. Or you could just hang out with us here at the Gamers for Life podcast, especially because later in the episode, we will be doing our very first video game fantasy draft for Gamers for Life. I'm super excited. Yes, definitely slow clap there. I got the idea from, I was watching Kinda Funny, and they were doing the video game draft through this same system that we use. And I was like, that's brilliant. I was like, what better fantasy draft than video games? And especially when we talk about how release dates are so fucked, it just makes it that much more exciting to do a draft for it. So
it's like Pirates of the Caribbean. The release date's more of a set of guidelines than rules.
Exactly. So we will be doing that after the news here. But starting off on the show, I feel like it would be most appropriate to talk about The Last of Us premiere, which is crazy. It was the second biggest premiere in HBO's history, right behind House of the Dragon for Game of Thrones. So just to start off, I mean, what were I'm going to throw it to Church here. Did you get the chance to see The Last of Us premiere first episode?
Yeah, actually, I did. Me and my fiance went over to our in-laws to watch the premiere together. Her brother is a big gamer fan too, so we're like, yeah, we should check out The Last of Us. So we did a whole event. So I did check it out, and I guess, man, I wanted to hate this show so bad.
Really?
I wanted to hate it. I went in there like with a bias. I wanted to critique it. I was done with zombies. I'm done with zombies in video games, and I'm done with just zombies on TV. I've seen The Walking Dead already. But when I tell you, man, that the first episode got me, man, it got me good. I was like, dang, why is this better than I expected it to be? So I was enthralled by it. I like the little Easter egg. I love the fact that they had what's the game studio? It's not Neversoft. Who makes
Naughty Dog?
Naughty Dog, thank you.
Yeah.
They had Naughty Dog's yellow for the video game language, like on the sign. So I appreciate the little nods.
Oh, they had like that font.
Yeah, the font style to like lead players into playing the game. So I enjoyed it, man. I'm excited. I can't wait for episode 2.
Nice.
But if there's an opportunity to hate, best believe I'm going to hate. But
yeah, we
did
we did plenty of that for the Halo show. we had quite a bit.
We got time for that.
We
oh
watched
no,
half
they
the
won't
season.
have the same actor as Master Chief. I'm so sad.
Oh, his helmet's off
not
again.
the best sci-fi video game show ever made. Oh no.
Let me pass it to you, Arthur. Did you get the chance to watch the premiere?
I did not. My old HBO subscription, I will say they canceled it, but it's fair because I have been very public that my old HBO subscription shouldn't exist anymore because I had Charter years ago. I had Charter before I moved. It was like 3 apartments ago. And they were like, hey, we're doing a Spectrum Internet Plus HBO thing. And I was like, okay, this is actually a good deal. And then like 2 years later, they canceled it because I was already locked in. They couldn't get rid of it. But so when I moved and the whole Ivan and I, ownership of the account switched, Spectrum realized, hey, we're trying to swap this dude's account. What is this? so Spectrum realized I've been paying for a really cheap subscription that should not exist and doesn't. So I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. I'm considering doing HBO. How much is HBO by itself?
They
Do you guys know?
raised it.
It's raised like $1, right? So it's $15.99 or something like that.
$15.99, bro. It's worth it.
It's
For
still
me,
worth it.
HBO is like the best streaming service out there in terms of consistent content. It's everything that I like, man.
But for me, the best streaming service I was paying $9 for 4 months ago.
Yeah, that made it even better.
So I'm like, yo, 60. I'm like, yo, 6% increase. That's a 60% increase. I don't know if I like a 60% increase, my guy.
Yeah.
Do you have another streaming service?
Crunchyroll for $8.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of hard to cancel that one.
Did you try the Magic app I sent you or the link to it?
No, I just too much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, allegedly try that because
Allegedly,
I think you can I think it's available on there. So
from an allegedly Sea of Thieves themed website. But no, I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. I've seen screenshots. I have seen the sneak peek. They did. I don't know, Church, if you saw it.
Sure.
I saw there was a sneak peek for episode 2. So I don't know if they did what is sort of a common thing now, where the credit scene is like the sneak peek for episode 2, or if they just dropped the trailer for episode 2. But from when I saw it, it looks good. Like the enemy, like the characters, the monster stuff looks good. But again, that's off of like a 60-second trailer.
right.
So I guess my question to you, Church, I forget if you saw it. Episode 1, or before I go on, I didn't really see it, so I'll pass it on. Jerrell, did you see the first episode?
I did. So, to go into detail, because I like Church. I'm sure you've played The Last of Us, obviously.
Yeah,
right.
of course,
Yeah. So I played 1 and 2, and obviously this season is based on the first game. I was really impressed with how they filled the gaps for the video game. So, for example, like the very first scene where they're having there's that talk show and you have these scientists on, and the other one's talking about the fungi and talking about, how the possibility of it, how fungi is different where it can control you. And he's using examples of how it goes into insects and, they kind of become parasites. So really going into the detail of the fungi, this virus in general, which is not really gone into very deeply for the video game, because the video game more so you're just kind of in this situation, shit happens, you're like, what the fuck? And you're just trying to survive basically. So
it pops off.
It just pops off. So I really thought it was super smart to go into the detail of this fungi, this virus, what exactly is it, and understanding, hey, this is not a zombie thing. And how it was explained, it was like, this is actually potentially, like, it could happen. Like saying like, hey, what if the world got warmer? And it's saying like, if the world got a little bit warmer, then yeah, potentially humans can be affected by this. And lo and behold, I mean, scientifically, global warming, they were figuring that out in the 70s, so just 10 years after that. So I thought it was really smart that they started that way. And also I liked the detail that they included for the daughter as well. Just kind of throughout the day, like you're seeing like how sweet this girl is to her dad, and really doing all this stuff genuinely, going down the bus to get the watch fixed, because we see in the video game, you're like, oh, we got her watch, that fix the watch, that's cool. But you see the extent of how much she loves her father, right? And I also thought it was interesting. You realize how fast this thing goes. Because when they're eating breakfast in the morning, they're like, hey, something in Jakarta is happening, with this virus or whatever. And then throughout the day, starts hearing these alarms. You start hearing all this stuff. And then lo and behold, it's like, they're like, lock your fucking doors. So like you see how fast it progresses. And when shit hits the fan, that intensity was still there. Because I remember playing the game for the first time, the first game where I was like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? Like you're in the truck and like, right. Shit's popping off. And, and I think Pedro Pascal killed it with playing Joel and what, how he perceived Joel and everything. And it's funny, Arthur, we first thought the guy from Parks and Recreation was Joel's brother. That guy, he plays Bill. So his brothers are different. His brothers, still good casting. Yeah, still good casting. Yeah, the guy who plays Joel's brother is a really good actor as well. He does a really good job. But that intensity was there. You know what I mean? And the airplane crashing and all this stuff, and just the chaos. You're just like, what the fuck? Like. They did such a good job with that first scene because I was like, I wonder how they're going to do it. And then, just really making it super heartfelt. And I'm a big fan of Ellie. I like swearing Ellie. What were your thoughts on Ellie?
Well, I just want to piggyback off of what you said about how the details and the liberties how they decided to flesh out some of the story. So there are scenes in the first episode, like the entire day, which is not in the video game because you start that game at night. Right. And I think it's done pretty well. It added more to the day because it's a TV show, so you got to build up to something. So I think it was done very tastefully, and I think any gamer shouldn't have a complaint to it at the same time. I mean, even the daughter's clothes she has the same T-shirt on as in the video game. Yeah, it's like identical.
That's cool.
Yeah, so the attention to detail is pretty well done. At the same time, I do like Joel. Pablo is really good at acting at him, and the brother as well. But at the same, I don't know if I'm sold on Ellie yet. I have to see a little bit more. So I think she's acting. She is cussing like Ellie, I'm waiting to see a comic book at some point. But she's did pretty good for the small scenes that she had. I think she's doing all right. And I loved her from Game of Thrones. She was like the queen of like some northern like country sect of the whatever. not even the Lannisters. I forget what the
She was one of the Stark's cousins. Her
Yeah,
house
the
was like
Starks.
something
like
Stark.
the
There's like
west of
yeah.
Winterfell or something.
And
Yeah.
I was just say before we go too far, Pedro, not Pablo, but close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they were both in Game of Thrones. Actually, so
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, man. That's my thoughts on Ellie. I'm kind of curious to see how the second episode goes.
Yeah.
Because I think they said this money spent more money than Game of Thrones. They spent like $10 to $15 million per episode, and like that's a lot of money, right? And
That is a lot of money.
you could kind of see it in the first episode. Like the set designs are not green screen; they actually built the location, so like the debris and the rumble, it just looks very realistic. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, since Game of Thrones, you go to different countries and it's expanding, like what do these creatures look like? Is that where all the money's going to? I'm curious to see how it would take off in the further episodes.
Definitely. No, I think you make a great point because I remember a few episodes ago, I was kind of talking about the budget too, as far as like, God, it's kind of a lot riding on this, but I know the sneak peeks of those clickers are crazy. And then I heard too that the voice actors from the game actually do the voice acting for the clickers in the show as well.
Really? Okay.
Which is pretty cool. So Neil Druckmann, he did a really good job working really closely with everybody. It's funny, speaking of that, because recently in the news it was just popping off how the co-director was not in the credits for the show. So now he's like, man, there should be unionization, and I'm like, because you weren't mentioned in the show, we should be unionized.
The co-director. Wait, so it was a co-director of the game?
Yeah, wasn't mentioned. He wasn't credited in the.
Was he on set? Did he do the work?
I think he was there. I think he was there.
That's different.
But he wasn't mentioned. But he wasn't mentioned because it's like Neil Druckmann. But I'm like, well, it's not Neil Druckmann's fault. That's HBO's fault. Talk to them.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll say I was gonna say if he was like the co-creator of Last of Us, the game, but was involved in the show, then I'm like,
yeah, it's like this is the TV production. Like, were you on set, my guy? Yeah, exactly.
it's like sorry, you have a lot in common with anyone that made Halo because they weren't involved in the show. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I have a question because again I didn't see it. So I just got questions. Go ahead.
I was just saying, it seems like so far the show is in good faith, kind of like the opposite we've kind of been hearing from like Henry Cavill and the show The Witcher, and like why he left. Some of it's rumored allegedly like the writers and the director didn't really like the fan bases or the source material, like the games or the books, so they just been changing everything, and that's like kind of why he left. But watching the first episode of The Last of Us, you can see the level of love and detail about just to the game, at least in the first episode. So there's still like 9 more episodes. We'll see how it goes, but
exactly,
promising.
That's what I was gonna ask there, because it was notorious before. It was a notorious interview or like whatever article that came out that the makers of the Halo show didn't play the games, and where even though I might not have I'm not like full team Neil Druckmann, I'm still glad that someone who was behind the wheel of the fantastic game that was Last of Us, I know Last of Us 2, whatever, but behind the wheel of Last of Us that made it what it was, which is still one of the best games ever made, is behind the wheel of the show. And I was going to ask you guys, which sure kind of sound like it did, does that show through the episode? And I'm glad it does. And the thing is, because that's the thing, it's again a conversation gamers have it a million times, is name a good thing, and it's like you can name a million and one bad adaptations. I mean, like even recently, Netflix's Raccoon City, garbage.
Yeah, they already canceled it. I think it's already canceled. Yeah,
like you know what I mean. And so, especially with like live action, with animation, you have more free roam. Like I know The Witcher, like Henry Cavill and everything was saying that the love for it, or just the dedication, or I can't think of the word, the adaptation, but that Witcher prequel animation and movie that was a prequel to the Witcher show, that one's good. And so, but for something about live action and games just hasn't hit its mark. So I'm really hoping The Last of Us really in a good way sets it above, because up until now, like when it comes to shows, good examples I think are animations, Edge Runners, And then the League of Legends ones, I forget what that was called.
Yeah.
Again, animation in games.
Dante's Inferno, that one was pretty crazy too.
Yeah. So I'm excited for episode 2.
Movie.
I just need to look into HBO or etc. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's promising. I mean, I still think like the greatest video game adaptation is, I love Warcraft. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie, but that was,
I still did see it.
It's pretty good. And even the community seemed to love it. It's like it paid respect to the lore as well. I'm curious to see The Last of Us. Are they going to, I mean, I guess it's like, what do the fans want? What do we want? Like a 1-for-1 of the video game until the end of the game? Or is it like season 1 and then season 2 is something completely new because we can just flesh it out because the lore is so immersive? Like,
well, if they're going to go
seeing that, but I'm also kind of curious how the success of the show will impact game development of the third game. Like, do you now make a game with the idea of introducing characters in the TV show? Like, I'm not saying that's a good or bad idea, but I think it's going to have an impact on Last of Us 3.
That is an interesting point you make, definitely, because I know Neil Druckmann, he was saying something about how he wants the third game to have less cinematic and more just like in-game stuff happening. Sure. And that might be based off of his experience working with everybody on the show, because he literally like showed everyone like the video game and the character and dug in like all these characters and whatnot. But yeah, as far as like to me, the second season is going to be very risky to get done, just because of when it comes to the gamers, you know, it's the most, like, for IGN, for that review, it's the most disliked review on IGN, Last of Us 2, as far as how the game played out. Now, from a narrative basis, I think it would work, but from an HBO perspective, I don't know how many people would watch it in that regard, because and especially when it comes to Abby, that character, whoever plays that character has to be really engaging, and to keep those episodes going, especially if you're doing 9 episodes, that's a lot. Like, the thing about The Last of Us, especially The Last of Us 2, there's a lot of stuff that's not happening. You're getting from point A to point B, so they might have to create some new stuff just to keep some engagement. So I've heard that the second season is supposed to be the second game, but that is going to be much more difficult to achieve, I think, than the first. I don't know what fans want. That's a good question you asked too. You said, do we want a 1-by-1? I think we do, or at least as far as from the comments that I've seen and things like that, people like that they're being faithful to certain things, and how this season is going to end. If they're going to copy it from the game, I think it's going to be really impactful as well. So they kind of have everything right in front of them. But I think from what you said about Ellie, I was telling Arthur this. I said my biggest concern is how they gel well from a chemistry perspective. Like, is it just going to be him tagging her along, or is it actually going to be like where by the end of the game you really feel like that they're intertwined? You know what I mean? So I kind of had a pretty nice sense of that a little bit when he was asleep and he was telling her about like the radio station thing, as far as like, if 80s music is playing, it means some shit's fucked up, we need to go. You know, like, I thought that was a pretty cool thing, and she was kind of like messing with him, like, oh my God, this is on. No, it's not, you know. That was pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm definitely, we'll definitely keep track on this as far as for what's going to happen in the future, if we like the second episode or not, to keep trucking along. This is always the biggest challenge when it comes to series, when it comes to like when you're adapting it from something, because you're like, is episode 2, 3, 4, 5 going to be just as engaging as episode 1? I don't know, unless you're adding some action scenes or something, you know. So
wasn't for the Halo show.
yeah. I mean,
episode 1 had a gun. Episode 1 had a firefight. Episode 2, where are the guns? They're over there. Are we going to fire them? No, but this is Halo. You can say that.
Like, if there's any game that's adapted, you know, to a TV show, you have to have action, more action than the average show for a Halo. Like, it's just, you can't. It's not Star Trek. You can't have like every 5 episodes there's an action scene. Like it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I digress.
I was just gonna ask in terms of seasons. Do you think the first season
one had more action? Like, for real, man. I mean, for real, Stargate, SG-1, Farscape, all those sci-fi shows, man.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
SG-1 was great.
Yeah, SG-1, Atlantis. I mean, I'm a big fan of those, man.
Hey, you won't. Hey, if you hate, dude,
fucking sliders.
I'll say for people that hate SG-1, you won't have new Kratos without SG-1. Because my boy Kratos, he's from Stargate.
Judge. I know, man. Yeah, Judge, man.
Yeah. True that. So, let's just dive into the meat and potatoes here, shall we? So, one of the big on the Microsoft side, transitioning from Sony side to the Microsoft side, I wanted to talk about this, which is pretty significant. News that happened earlier this week. So this is from GameSpot that I pulled this from, but Microsoft lays off 10,000 people. Cuts reportedly include Xbox and Bethesda. So it says Microsoft hired more than 75,000 people since 2019 and is now scaling back. It says here that, in quote, Microsoft is cutting more jobs this week, with CEO Satya Nadella confirming 2,000 layoffs during the executive described as times of significant change. The job losses reportedly affect people at Xbox and Bethesda in addition to Microsoft's wider teams at large. In a memo to staff, Nadella said the 10,000 layoffs, which amount to less than 5% of the company's total workforce of more than 220,000, will take place beginning today, January 18th, through the end of its third quarter of the fiscal year 2023. According to New York Times, Microsoft hired more than 75,000 people in 2019 to help demand for the growing interest of online services and cloud computing due to the onset of the pandemic. This is just the latest round of layoffs at Microsoft, as Nadella eliminated around 25,000 jobs between 2014 and 2015 as a result of abandoning the company's Nokia business. Says there in quote, "It's important to note that we are eliminating roles in some areas. We will continue to hire in key strategic areas. We know that this is a challenging time for each person impacted. The senior leadership team and I are committed as we go through the process. We will do so in the most thoughtful and transparent way possible," Nadella said. Let me read this here because this is something that Arthur was adding a link to the article. Continuing on, it says here that the CEO did not say which departments within Microsoft are affected, but Bloomberg reported that Microsoft's Xbox and Bethesda divisions are affected in some capacity. A spokesperson for Microsoft declined to comment about if the layoffs affected Xbox. When approached by GameSpot, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier noted that several employees indicated that Halo Infinite developer 343 was hit hard. Quote,
thank God.
So explaining job cuts, Nadella said that stemmed from Microsoft making adjustments to the business response to the pandemic, including session fears and advanced AI technology, blah, blah, blah. End quote. So these are the stories that we hate to hear, right? As far as when it comes to, we hear a lot about acquisitions. We hear a lot about companies buying other companies. We rarely hear about how that affects people that are currently in those positions. And unfortunately, people, layoffs happen a lot because of certain acquisitions, because of repetitive jobs and things of that nature. Now, it's interesting to me that this big purchase, right, is potentially one of the factors applied to this layoff. And then also the Activision
or the purchase.
Yeah, the Activision, Bethesda, yeah. And then also, the 343 situation, right? Which is kind of a different monster because it's like a failed project. So it's like, let's just throw them in the fire too. But let me throw this to Arthur. Arthur, what in general, just, what are your thoughts about this? And, what are as far as just the layoffs and when it comes to the acquisition and 343?
I hate it. I'm not happy with Microsoft right now. I love Todd Howard. I love Xbox gaming, but Microsoft as a whole, laying off 10,000 people, that's pathetic. I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. There's now stories coming out there. I'm looking at right now. The Wall Street Journal reported the day before this was announced, at a Switzerland resort, they hosted a private concert with Sting with about 50 plus Microsoft executives. 24 hours later, they announced 10,000 layoffs. And I'm like, how are you going to have 50 people at your private Switzerland resort with a private concert with Sting, and then announce this? The other thing with investments is something we've mentioned before. Is where did I just scroll this an ad? Is Microsoft's also considering this? Is I'm reading an article from Business Insider. Microsoft is considering a $10 billion investment into Chat GPT's maker OpenAI. And so, for those of you that aren't familiar, the Chat GPT is like a major AI that's kind of making the rounds right now. You've heard stories of like game journalism, being replaced with AI. Microsoft's considering investing $10 billion into that. So for me, as a big picture, when I hear, private concert in Switzerland resort, $10 billion investment into this AI program, I don't like it. Like I said, this is executive level raising its head. The 343 thing, I think, is a little separate. I'd be interested to see the ratio of like where these layoffs kind of the majority of which from an apartment or from one subdivision or one studio or one subdivision. But again, when I hear of now, if this was to say like Microsoft games, like if you were to say like, let's say Microsoft Game Studios, it's like, whoa, what's going on? But when like Microsoft as a whole X billion dollar company lays off 10,000 people, I'm like, you don't need to do that. What are you doing? That's my short just irk reaction from it. Is with Joe and I being the bit of like a management side, or like how I just want to hear corporate. It just screams corporate to me. I'm not really happy with it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, George?
I mean, from the human perspective, it's never good when somebody loses their livelihood, right? I don't think anybody wishes that they can't provide or they don't have a job at any time. So like, it's very sympathetic, like, to those people, and hopefully they land on their feet strong enough. I don't know if Microsoft is quote unquote bad. Sure, I think over the week you sent me like an article and about the layoffs so I can get up to speed. To me, it just looks like they expanded and they basically, hey, we were stretched thin and they downsized 10,000. Right, since 2019, from the article, they hired 75,000 additional people. All right, and they're like, well, hey, we maybe grew too much. We need to cut it down to 65. Yeah. Right, so so they did a lot of jobs for a lot of people during the pandemic, and maybe like when a business like they're trying to grow, they expand too fast, hire a bunch of people so they have the help, and then they need to downsize. Like maybe we don't need that much. I don't know the reason behind it. I mean, it's just business at the end of the day, and it's code, and it sucks for a lot of people. I'm not surprised that Bethesda got hit. I think with the acquisition of ZeniMax, there's a lot of duplicate jobs, right? From like a leadership position. I don't know who lost their jobs at Bethesda. My presumption is that the marketing team at Bethesda is no longer needed because we got the marketing team at Xbox.
Right.
Right. I wish there was some retention clauses that PlayStation did with Bungie in the negotiations, like ZeniMax, like, hey, we're going to buy a company, we're retaining people for 3 to 4 years. Not only does people have a good job during that time, but it also keeps the product, quality up to a certain standard.
Right.
I'm not surprised. It does suck with Bethesda. It's bittersweet about 343.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know if it's the leadership that got gut. I know one of the guys, John, he took back to his old gig that was leading the charge for 343.
He dipped.
He did, like so many other people. But I think the lady that was in charge of it a couple months ago, she left 343, right? She was like for 15 years. She left, and there was a cut there. So I think at this time, like I mentioned when it came to Halo Infinite, like you can't take their mascot and fuck it up for 15 years. All right. It's too big of a thing. It's an icon. It's recognizable. So I expect 343 to get cut. In this round of layoffs are just another excuse for it to happen.
Yeah. It seems like Definitely, no, it definitely does, and I feel like this kind of, to me, I feel like this kind of answers some questions that I had prior, as far as for the direction that 343 went when making Halo Infinite. Because originally, I remember Arthur and we were talking, and I was asking, like, what was who was responsible for driving this battle pass online shit versus sticking to core mechanics that gamers want, i.e. fucking co-op, you know, not having that be a forefront and throwing that, oh, we're going to fix that later. And then they never did it. And definitely, you know, so to me, it seems like, you know, showing that Homeboy left, you know, the lead of 343, that shows that, okay, I guess it was a decision from the top of 343. Because for me, if this was more so like, you know, someone in Microsoft leading that initiative, I would kind of feel bad for 343, because it's like, look, we just did our jobs and you know, this is where we're at. But to me, it seems like that was a specific decision from leadership of 343, a terrible decision. And to me, it's very strange, because it's like, guys, you did the Master Chief Collection, you remade the Halo games, so you know what they are, and you decided to go this route. Like, how dare you? You know what I mean? So it's like you said, it is kind of a bittersweet thing. Obviously, I don't want anyone's job to get lost ever, but it's like, you guys didn't do your jobs. Like, you guys failed. You guys failed, like, point blank. You failed. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, mascot for Microsoft, for Xbox, I mean. And you know, that kind of speaks volumes. One other interesting thing too is that according to Jason Schreier, who's kind of like the main inside journalist, a video game journalist, working at Bloomberg, you know, he said that some folks in Starfield, working on Starfield, was impacted. So that kind of like fucks up my draft, but if I were to choose Starfield, but you know, that might be a potential indicator, like, well, shit, if Starfield was affected, is Starfield going to come out in November of this year? God damn it. You know what I mean? Because Arthur knows I've been very gullible. I'm like, I just want a game to come out and I want it to be good, you know, so.
They had to get rid of the QA testers because the game has no bugs at this point. It's flawless.
This game's perfect. All you
just can't travel planet to planet. It's just going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, guys, come on. We're Bethesda. If there's one thing we're known for, it's no bugs. Come on.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, Joel, yeah, it's like you do a draft and it's like so-and-so injured, new draft pick injured during the off season. Yeah, the thing, yeah, but so more to like the gaming style with 343, you know, I don't want to repeat a year's worth, but it's like, again, like 20 years, 20 years celebration worth of Halo, the face of it. And it's like that one dude, like the one episode that you read to me, because, there's purposely, sometimes I just, don't read things because I have my Arthur-like reactions, and Jerrell read me that story of like, Phil Spencer assures gamers Halo will survive this game. What are you talking about? That was early,
we both were like, what? Yeah.
That was before anything. That was before we had any worry. That was before the first gameplay trailer where they showed Bob that looked like a 64 game. Out of nowhere, Phil Spencer said, "Don't worry, guys, Halo will survive this."
Because he knew he was going to get Bethesda, and he knew he was going to give it to id to make a Halo game at this point.
He just leads his head in. Oh, y'all fucking up.
And I'm pretty sure they're going to give it to another studio. I mean, Halo Infinite, it's already a dead game, but this is like the final nail in the coffin, right? I don't expect like the season 3 that's coming out in March or whatever, season after that, is going to make any impact at that point.
That's what Halo's known for. Seasons.
Yeah. Seasons.
So you guys remember at season 2 Halo 3? That was so great. Man, season 3 of Halo 2 was amazing.
It's like everything has a season now.
Not everything is Fortnite.
Yeah. But it is.
I cry. I cry a little when I see Master Chief pulling the gritty on Cortana.
Do the Dougie.
Yeah, I mean, the upside downside with this, it's like whoever has Halo next has like both a high bar and a low bar at the same time. It's like the low bar of expectations to be better is low, but the bar to like get everyone back in the Halo, it's gonna be high. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
bro, just give it to the Doom team. Like I said again, like
They already have a big green guy.
it's gonna be in 60 games. They got a big green guy. It's gonna work. Now, I mean, I don't know if the Doom team wants to like make a Halo game, but I think you could give it to any other. Give it if the Activision acquisition goes through, you can just give it to one of those studios that's making Call of Duty and just like put that in rotation.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's a solid idea. You know what I mean? Because as we said, as far as Full Spectrum saying like, hey, like Halo's gonna be fine with or without 343, or with regardless of this game, like he knows that there's a lot of shit that needs to be cleaned up. You know what I mean? And obviously this E3 isn't this E3 Arthur where
Yep.
where they're supposed the acquisition, because they've been throwing all types of wrenches in this acquisition deal with Activision, man. Like just
The government is like, whoa, people are trying to make money that who isn't us. No.
like the FCC and all this stuff, and like never see you now, and blah, blah, but like they've like jumped over all these hurdles. So like,
I mean,
yeah.
I was gonna say, to cut you off, I'm like, hey, that those 10,000 people are looking for jobs. I hear the IRS is hiring like 80,000 people. I mean, I was gonna say I had an epiphany of face there because you were talking about like quote unquote similar assets. Id and a Doom guy. Can you imagine this like fever dream to get back into good graces if the team that's behind specifically Big Blue people, aka StarCraft, just blow it out of the water with a Halo game, just to get Blizzard in the good graces with people?
Big Blue people. What are you talking about?
StarCraft, the Space Marines.
Oh,
Blizzard.
okay.
Because with the Activision Blizzard, that means remember with Activision Blizzard.
Oh, like if they work on Halo,
yeah. Because of the many remember of the many assets that can be under Microsoft is StarCraft, the major RTS RTS online game. And I was again just thinking of similar assets with Doom, and the Doom guy, big green guy, and I'm like, well, StarCraft has big blue guys with their Space Marines.
Yeah.
I would be like, let's go back to the drawing board, guys.
Like just Todd Howard's like, look Blizzard. Everyone knows about your Cosby suites. If you want good PR, make a good Halo game.
There is an interesting article here that's kind of connected to this, since we're talking about Microsoft. And this is obviously before all the layoffs as well, but there's an article on Videogame Chronicle where Phil Spencer, he says game companies must turn away from dividing players from creators. So it says, honor our differences and practice empathy. So it says here in quote, Phil Spencer has used an award speech to state his opinion that video game companies have a responsibility to ensure players and developers aren't divided and are instead united. So Spencer was speaking at the 12th annual New York Game Awards on Tuesday, where he was accepting the Andrew Yoon Memorial Legend Award, stressing the need for video games to bring joy at a time when there is more despair in the world. He's probably talking about the layoffs. Spencer stated, it's not funny. Spencer stated that the onus is on business leaders to ensure players receive this joy instead of experiencing more negativity. So today, as creators, leaders, and as world builders, our greatest responsibility is to inspire and invite joy, Spencer said. Each one of the hundreds of titles that players have at their fingertips today and tomorrow is calling card for joy. Halo, God of War, Vampire Survivors, Peppa Pig games, small games, mobile games, indie games. Each one is designed to deliver an infusion of joy in the midst of our lives, to give us so much joy people want to talk about it, to share it. All of us here today, all of our teams around the globe, we are all part of creating this echo effect of joy. Our creators who bravely and intentionally release their visions to the world, particularly in the current culture of criticism and cancellation. Our players are who bravely and intentionally carve out time for our games to invite rest and rejuvenate their lives. And business leaders were called upon to have courage to protect and nurture this collective joy. We're called on to incubate these experiences, create them, and grow them, to seek around ourselves with a multitude of perspectives, to honor our differences across experiences and geographies, and to practice empathy when intentionally listening to others. We turn away from dividing players and creators instead of towards each other as we advance and amplify joy together. This is the echo effect of gaming joy. End quote.
And then Neil Druckmann hit him with a golf club.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of word salad.
And then layoffs happen. I guess like because
it's like we don't want to divide gamers from developers. Boom. Neil Druckmann's golf club.
Yeah, I guess for like my take, because I know that was a lot to take in. I guess like from my perspective, I see what he's saying as far as developers from players and creators, being divided, and he wants these games to be experiences to give joy and whatnot. But I feel like he's saying he also understands the other side of the spectrum where creators have to understand players, have to understand gamers, and understand what they're working on too, and understand what is being made, so we don't have another Halo Infinite situation. You know what I mean? So I do understand what he's saying as far as like, let's not focus on the negativity of everything. Let's celebrate these games of these great things that we have. But when these things are not being utilized carefully, they're not being utilized with the care that they need, these IPs. It's like what I was talking to Arthur about this, half of last year, damn near, as far as like all of these little movies and Netflix shits and things, as far as for all these video game IPs, these characters that we hold so dearly, it's just for cash grabs, like that worries me. You know what I mean? And you can't expect gamers or players to be happy with stuff like that, especially when it's not handled with care. So like, I feel like that's the other side of the conversation, that I'm pretty sure he understands, but I just think it's one of those things where it's like, we can't just focus on like, yeah, let's just be happy with the stuff we have. It's like, no, man, like you got to understand why players are pissed off too. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But what were your thoughts on what he was saying, Church?
To me, I interpret this as, just nice words to position Xbox as the good guys for this whole FTC and EU debacle, like CMA as well. I think it's a shot at PlayStation in terms of game companies trying to divide players and content creators.
That's a good pickup.
Yeah, which PlayStation is clearly doing. Same, Xbox is the bad guy. Blah blah. This whole narrative type of thing. So I mean, I think it's a combination of that, really, and he's just trying to, because he has that court case. So anything he says now is going to carry weight, and everything else after that was just. I don't know, man. Just
fluff.
It's just like it's CEO talk. But to your point, I do think when it comes to these IPs, it should be treated with care. There's a lower fan base there, and maybe because I'm getting old, man, I got some grays in my head at this point. But I'm tired of investing my time into buying things or companies like the show The Witcher. They don't really care about the fan base, so to speak. Right. I didn't watch the prequel Witcher show because of what I've heard about the rumors. I'm like, you know what? Life is too short. There's too many things to do, too many things to watch.
Right.
I'm going to invest my time into something that like cares about me investing my time into, for the enjoyment. So I'm right there with you, champ. So
yeah, I agree with that. What'd you think, Arthur?
I liked it, and like I said, it's a mix of like positive but corpo speak. I will say real quick.
So much cyberpunk that
you. Yeah. Street kid.
Yeah.
I will say real quick on that note, Church. Speaking of Witcher prequel, don't watch the prequel show, but watch that prequel animation. It's great.
Oh yeah. The animation is good. Yeah. It's right up there with Edge Runner with me. So,
but But yeah, I could definitely see what Church is saying, and he ends his speech with, "And if everyone from the SEC is listening, I plead the fifth." Uh, but yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's like I think there's like a thing is good. I think it's like a good mix of corporate speak to a little bit of like intent or truth there. Because apples to apples, whereas the Sony CEO, I forget his name, he's just very upfront, like just business. Like, I mean, to come out and say we like big blockbuster games, and then within a month you have articles of like indie developers saying, I don't like working with that guy. It wasn't fun working with him, wasn't great working with the team. And then, whereas Phil, to a point, not as far as like Kojima, but like Phil to a point, I think understands that from a gamer perspective, it's both entertainment and art, and to at least address it or at least mention it, I like, because that's something how we see it as. We see it like, it's like, yes, as we get older, we definitely want to see how we match our time to entertainment, but behind games of like compared to other mediums, it is absolutely an art, and we care about it, especially compared to these adaptations with shows. I did also shout out to Peppa Pig.
Yeah, he gave Peppa Pig mad props.
I was like, okay. I came out of nowhere. I was just listening, like, okay, he's okay. I was like, maybe Phil Spencer's got. I don't know if he's got some
joy.
Kids. I was like, I don't know if he got some kids or some grandkids. Yeah, Peppa Pig. The kids love it. The grandkids love Peppa Pig.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll say one last thing. I can officially say, because shocker, I'm Team Phil Spencer. What was the name of the award?
It was the
CEO.
The Andrew legendary.
All I heard.
Some shit.
Okay, all I heard at the very very end is legend, certified legend. I'm just saying he's had award. It's like, oh, you don't think I'm a legend? What does this say?
Legend. He's the man. He's the man. And I know it hurts him too, with these layoffs and whatnot, you know what I mean? So he has to stay on the grind, but I know that does hurt, because the last thing he wants, I'm sure, is the same thing that that Natalia wants, especially around because he worked his way to the position that he's at, with the expertise and with the insight of being a gamer, and understanding, delivering that to customers. And, I've just always appreciated just Phil Spencer for that. You know what I mean? So
this sounds weird, but like when he was at E3 and stuff, I respect that he's not in a suit. I hate suits. Jacket. Yeah, it's like business casual, especially if you're especially like outside looking in. California, we love business casual. If you like 9-piece suit, props to you. But like when I used to go to Catalina Island for meetings, and I would show up in like a tie and stuff, the people there, like the business owners on the island, were like, who's this guy? What are you doing? Did no one tell him to bring cargo shorts? You know what I mean? So it's like, I like that he walks into like an environment for fun. E3 at its core is a fun thing. Yeah. And it's like he's not just in a 9-piece like business attire suit. I'm like,
yeah, I like having a suit, but they gotta pay me way more for that. It's like I'm gonna buy a big ass suit for how much you pay me.
Dude,
pay me more money if I'm wearing a fucking suit, okay?
I'm a big dude. If you're expecting to sweat all over my collar,
yeah,
I want my check to reflect that.
I need 6 figures, my guy. Yeah, I was like, don't fucking do that to me. So one of the last things I wanted to talk about here before we go into the draft, we can kind of laugh about this. It's kind of bittersweet as well. Google Stadia, rest in peace. 2 days ago, officially donezo. Google Stadia they are shut down. They are giving out refunds to people that I don't know why they would subscribe to that. And for some reason they're still selling the controller because I guess it's compatible with other stuff. But as far as for the service, it is gone. I was hearing something really interesting as far as like how many people were trying to make Red Dead Redemption 2 work on Google Stadia. It's like thousands of people on that project. I'm just like, man. And then like they there's another article where they're over 10,000 jobs layoffs for Google as well. You know what I mean? So, and for that, it's like, obviously, I don't know the details around that. It could be something similar from an acquisition or whatever thing. But then the other side of the spectrum is maybe they invested in some stuff that they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Kind of like the whole Amazon situation, right? So it just goes to show, it's like, yo, don't fuck with this industry if you're not going to play the game right. You know, for some of these companies that are outside looking in, you know, it's one of those things. It's like, you have to, it's like what we said before there. It's like, yo, be a publisher. Be a publisher. Don't try to be the big man and try to have your guys work on a game or something that you have no idea what you're doing. You don't have the right people in place. You know, it's just one of those things, man. So.
Google has the possibility to be a great indie publisher. I mean, they give the limelight to like a bunch of small people with the Google Doodle. Just put those people in charge of finding indie developers.
Yeah, man.
But let Google Stadia be the example of, you can't just walk in here and expect a fat paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I sucked. I bought the Stadia, one of the Founders Edition. I have it.
What?
I bought it.
Who convinced
you should be expecting a refund shortly.
Who convinced you? Who convinced
you?
You?
I watched the fucking conference and I was like, yo, this shit is the future, man. Like, it sold me on. I believed in it. And technically, we're not wrong. Xbox succeeded with Stadia.
Xbox is Xbox. But
yeah. The future, I believe in, exists still.
The idea, you were like, this idea is it. Yeah, you just bet on the wrong horse. That's all.
I bet on the wrong
This dude bet on a crippled donkey. What are you talking about?
It was so bad because you remember how bad my internet was. So I have the Founders Edition. I didn't even open it because I'm like, yo, once I get my spot, get my better internet service.
You didn't wait till day one reviews?
Oh, wow.
Bro, I was a Founders Edition. My shit has autograph Founders. It's still in this box. I haven't opened it.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't mean it works.
Bro, it's a gaming history.
That is great sentimental. That is great sentimental value. Like,
bro,
hey, save it to sell it, but
the Lost and Founders.
I know, dude. I'm so angry about it. But it's a prime example of why I want Microsoft to get this acquisition for Activision and Blizzard.
Yeah.
Not only to get Bobby Kotick out of the office too as well.
Oh,
but
hell yeah. Fuck that guy.
If Microsoft doesn't do it, then it's either going to be Facebook or Amazon that picks it up. And I'd rather it be in the hands of a company, those IPs that already in the gaming industry, not like going to Amazon and then like, we see, if it does well or not. So, we went to Google. Because, they don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to take, a piece of the pie without having a team or the willingness to invest 10 years into building a brand, so to speak. So, fuck Stadia. I still have the shit. I put it on eBay. If anybody wants it, let me know. So.
Hold on to it just to sell it, but
sure.
Church. Buddy.
Yeah, I know, man. I believed.
No, like, dude, I haven't pre-ordered a game in like 3 years. I'm like, this is why. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Even to a point, even for my last thing, Jerrell, was even with like consoles. I'm still hesitant with consoles day one. I'm like, let's wait for that day one patch. Like,
well, actually, you're kind of segueing me a little bit. I don't have an article to lead, but we've had this conversation too, Arthur, as far as like, is the Series X their last console? Because with Game Pass, with the cloud, it seems to be working really well for Microsoft. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, they want to put it into television and shit like that. So I heard about the little stick they want to utilize. So it's like, if all that stuff works really well, my original prediction might be right as far as like, this could be Microsoft's last console.
Oh, no, man, you tripping, bro. As long as Sony and Nintendo produce consoles, Xbox will. That's it.
Maybe Sony. Maybe Sony.
If Sony's making a console, Xbox is going to make a console. It's just like, you're not just going to abandon that market share just, because it's streaming services. They're going to continue to do it, bro. There's going to be a serious Series X XL probably coming out at some point as a midlife cycle comes up.
That actually might be the first good naming of an Xbox console in generations.
The XL.
Yeah.
The Xbox Series XL. That actually that would be the first time it makes sense since the original Xbox. You had Xbox 360, no idea why. Xbox One, no idea why. Xbox Series X, no idea why. Church, dude, you blew my mind. You nailed it. That's the next best one. Series XL.
I will say this though, Church. I think we are at the end of the road of two consoles releasing. I don't think we're gonna have another. We're not gonna have a Series S and an X and all. I don't think that's gonna happen anymore. I really feel like because technically the cloud, it's technically still in beta. You know what I mean? So it's like this isn't just a convenience. I really feel like they want this to be a prominent convenience. And you might be right. You might be right as far as they're gonna keep producing consoles. But I mean, how long did it fucking take for us to get the consoles that we have now? Like so long. And then as far as imagine the future of when the next console is going to be, obviously PlayStation, they have the patent for PlayStation 6, but like even thinking of Nintendo for the Switch. They're working on more regular Switches because last year it was the highest selling console, and it's still people still want this drifting, this controller drift fuck of a console. But for Microsoft, I just feel like when it comes to the
Nintendo's name, hold on.
All right. I digress. But my point is that Microsoft is the most successful with this cloud technology, and I think they're really going to dig deep into it. So if you are right as far as them releasing a console, I don't think they're going to be doing here's the little one and here's the powerful one. They're going to be like, no, here's the console for the main console, and then you have Game Pass and you have the Game Pass stick. I really feel like they might be going that direction.
I mean, it depends, bro, because the risk is on the bigger console, right? Right, because you look at the S, which has been selling incredible, right? Even Microsoft's come out and said the Xbox Series S is so good. If those, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, those components, it's a profit. They're actually making a profit on those consoles. It's like Nintendo consoles. The reason why they're so underpowered, the GPU and the hardware, is because they always want to make a profit on the consoles they sell. So I see more incentives to have a Series S. It's like, yo, this console, every time we sell, we make money on it. If we just upgrade that with current specs, those owners might double dip into it. There's too much of a business reason to say we sold 2 million, let's try to sell another 2 million of just profit on it. I just don't see you getting rid of that until
it would make even more profit if it's all cloud. You know what I mean?
It's just a steak.
They're losing money on the Series X, like that. Like they disclosed that
the profits. There's hardware profit and software profit.
Hardware,
the profit off of just hardware itself. So you would be removing the hardware portion of your profit from your overall figures into just software things where you just down. You know what I'm saying?
Not to cut you off, but during the Apple trial, it came out that they lose money on consoles.
Yeah, they lose money.
They lose money. That came out during the Apple trial.
But
no, there's no profit. No, there's no profit.
Yeah, there's no profit being had.
But there's no profit.
They're not.
I think on the Series S, the new one that came out, they actually making profit. They've historically have always lost money on console sales, without a doubt. That's been since the first original Xbox.
Series S is one more year. One more year, they're not going to make it anymore. That's my bet.
And
sure, but I bet money. How many years have we had the Series X so far? 2020. It's 2023. I think I'll bet 2024 we're gonna get a mid-cycle for both consoles. Definitely.
We do need a PS5 Slim. That would maybe be I'll be a little more appetized to maybe get one because I'm not buying that big motherfucker.
So Arthur, do you think we do a mid-cycle refresh on the consoles, or you think that's done too, completely?
No, I think there's gonna keep pushing the small S. Or get more leeway into TVs that just come with Game Pass because Samsung already has one, and I think the stick, if they can get headway on that Game Pass xCloud stick. Oh yeah,
they have to make more controllers though. That's the only thing.
You guys sound like Stadia lovers here. Like, let me, okay, bro. This
is Game Pass, bro.
I love Game Pass.
This is Game Pass.
I got the tattoo right.
I was gonna say, it's like, do you still download games? I don't. Like, that's not a joke. Like, I'm gonna play Monster
No,
Hunter.
yeah,
I'm not downloading
a lot
it.
of people stream.
I download games, but I feel like the gamers, the demographics, we always want the most powerful console, the most powerful graphics, and the least latency possible. I think the hardcore audience of gamers are going to want a physical console so they don't have to deal with the streaming buff. I think just removing that completely, it's like, do gamers want that? Like, I think we're so like nerdy and geeky about the shit that we're going to be like, nah, man, I need a console to play, or at least a PC to play. We need some hardware so I get like the quickest FPSs as soon as possible.
Like, I don't think
that's
I don't
our
think,
audience, bro.
Because I don't think hardware is going away. Because to your point, there is a good part of the country where the internet is very bad. So like hardware is going to be an incredible importance. I mean, this has happened ever since kind of consoles have existed, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is definitely a fair point. I don't think it's going away, but I do feel like when it comes to these regions where the internet is fire, I really feel like the stick and the controllers. I don't know how they're going to do it. If they do execute it, I really feel like it's going to be a pretty big thing. I just feel like when it comes to consoles, I feel like more and more, especially with the new generation, I think that is becoming more of an older psyche, and people just want to play games now, and I just feel like the more reliable the cloud will be, I feel like physical hardware slowly but surely is just going to dissipate. Could be wrong, but I don't know.
At least not that quick. I don't. The thing, because here's the other thing too. Remember, like we're just coming from a shortage on consoles, so I don't think we're around the corner from like a mid cycle buff. Normally, yes, but given the fact that like only late last year was the Xbox Series X readily available to the masses.
Sure.
I don't think we're around that soon. The muscle memory is there of, hey, where's our new console? But given the fact that arguably the Series X really wasn't available till, let's just say, June 2021, arguably, we're in 2023 now, 2022. Arguably, I would say, at least for me, it felt that the consoles weren't really available till well into 2022. So just because of that timing of it, that's why I don't think a new mid cycle or mid console buff for like a 1.5 is that close around the corner. Just that unique timing.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna come, because like guys, like the development for these things happens years in advance, right? So we're talking about, they've already had the Series X design done in like 2018, right? And they started production in 2019. The next cycle re-up, they've already had the plan. And if there was a shortage in chips where they couldn't manufacture enough, it's not like they leave an inventory on the shelf. They're just switching to the already investment into the new design to put these on the shelf at that point to replace the inventory. That's kind of how I kind of look at it. I mean, it'd just be a weird future without it.
Sure. Yeah.
It'd be a new age. I don't think it's coming in this gaming consoles generation.
Yeah.
If we're in the 8th generation, whatever it's called, I think 2024 we're gonna get another refresh. Whether it be an Xbox or PlayStation 5, man.
Yeah.
I hope not. I felt like I wasted $500 and I got 2 years out of it.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll see.
That's if I bought a $500 console, because that's one of the reasons why I buy console instead of PC, because I get more than 2 years worth like my money. So I think maybe 2025.
Okay.
Because that's just for me. Again, that's just me personally. It's like one of the reasons I don't do like console versus PC is because it's like you spend X thousand but lasts you X time, whereas a console like $500 gets you 7-8 years. So if I for me, if I buy a $500 console and I get 2 years out of it, I'm like, I'll be upset. Like,
I can see I can see a refresh for PlayStation. I think when it comes to the refresh, I really see it for PlayStation definitely. For Xbox maybe, but definitely for PlayStation. One last thing before we go into the draft.
Kind of derailed us.
Yeah, I know. Well, good convo. Good convo, and still video game relevant. I thought it was really weird where Microsoft said, or not Microsoft, Sony was like, "Oh yeah, there's no more shortage for the PS5." just randomly, right? Like for the last year or two, you've had the scalpers, you've had shortages, working on it. The Cisco, the president or one of the lead IT guys from the Cisco said, yeah, this chip, it's gonna be a couple of years until that's gonna be ready so they can manufacture it. And then all of a sudden, Sony said, now we got that. I'm like, something's off. Like I'm like, what is going on? You know, like it's really weird. It's just been very odd to me for these past couple of years, where first you have Sony's like, oh, you know, we have one of the fastest selling console or whatever, and they don't say anything about these scalpers or about all these bots and all these fucking consoles where they're being sold to somebody. And then randomly, you know, it's like, oh, well, we're a shortage. Okay, there's no more shortage. I'm like, okay, who's lying? Who's lying? Who's lying? What are you doing? What's happening? Like, I just felt like they just decided to say, oh, it's over. Like, there never really was a shortage to begin with. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love conspiracy talk.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
I go with Cisco. I go with Cisco on that. Like, I go with the chip. You know, the chip, because the chip guy. Because that was the thing too. Because the other thing with me thinking it's gonna take a while for the new console. Because last year at church, the manufacturer of the chip said this is gonna be for years out.
Yeah.
So that's why in the back of my head I'm like, we're years out to whatever. Because it was last year 2020 early 22 when Cisco came out and said, yeah, this is gonna be a while. Buckle up. So it was. I think it is weird because I don't know if how much the internet plays a part in this at all, but there was like videos trending of people just walking to Walmart or whatever and just being like, look, they got PS5s now.
Yeah.
People were just surprised. People were just like, and that was the thing on TikTok a little for a bit. People are like, dude, are you seeing this? Did they just have them in stock now?
And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of like famous people that are like, "Oh yeah, I got PS5 every room in the house." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, you got families looking for this shit that they can't fucking find it anywhere. I'm like, something's going on, bro. I'm like, are y'all turning into like Nvidia, where it's like, oh, the video cards are all sold out. Strangely, they're all sold out. You know?
Xbox had that too. For as long as the Xbox shortage was, I swear, I don't know, Church, if you noticed this, because now you got your Series X day one, right?
Yeah, I got both of my consoles day one.
Nice, because the thing is, I noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed a lot too on the Xbox dashboard. I swear, like once a month, there was like a new special edition giveaway. Borderlands 3, Back 4 Blood, the Ghostbusters. Like seriously, Jerrell, it was like every couple months there was just a new super special limited edition Xbox sweepstakes. I'm like, where are you getting these consoles?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's my conspiracy segment there, Church.
The chip shortage, like they said it was going to be for years. I don't know how they solved the problem. Like, what are they just find? Like,
because there was a worldly issue with certain components that were utilized in various industries, like healthcare industries, automotive industries, and Biden was like, because remember Biden like signed like a bill or whatever, like, so maybe that actually did something. But I'm like, how do we go from a worldly issue where components were needed to now we got that? You know, like, who's lying to me?
the half answer is Nancy Pelosi got on a plane, went to Taiwan, and said, "Get it done."
Right.
That's why those guys broke in her house. You better work on these goddamn consoles.
I don't care if Xi Jinping's trying to invade your country. Give me my PS5s.
Give me my PS5s. Oh Jesus. All right, so the last thing on the show that I'm very excited to talk about here, for Gamers for Life, we are having our very first video game draft, and I am excited that everyone can take part. Church, I'm excited to be a part of this here. Very, very excited. So, for just a very quick rundown on the draft, basically, each person is going to have 9 folks in their slot, so there are going to be 9 rounds to the draft, and basically when the games come out, the points are going to be pulled from Open Critic, and if the game scores above 70, you get a point per point. Each point for above 70. If the game scores above a 90, then it accumulates to 2 points per score or whatnot. As we mentioned, we can't have remakes, ports, games that have internationally been out already, stuff like that. And after we pick our folks, there's counter picks that we can choose. So, for example, if Church chooses Outer Worlds 2, Arthur says to Church, "I don't think Outer Worlds 2 is going to come out this year." And if he is right, then Church doesn't get any points for Outer Worlds for when it gets pushed back.
Sure.
So we're gonna see how this works. Might be a little clunky, but goddamn it, we're here. And is everybody logged in before I hit the draft button?
Yeah, I'm definitely logged in.
I am
I'm David Martinez.
All right,
let's go.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I laughed earlier because I forgot what I put my username was.
Artis Fartis.
Close. Very close, Joe. That's why you know me. Art the Fart.
Art the Fart. Very nice.
I don't know, man. I mean, last E3, Microsoft said all these games were coming out in a 12-month window.
They never lie. Never. All right, you logged in, Arthur?
No, I gotta plug my phone in real quick.
Okay, no worries. This is your new one, right?
No, I just ordered it.
Oh, okay, right on.
No, it doesn't even like ship until like next Friday or something.
Oh, okay. Well, congrats regardless.
Samsung 21E.
Nice.
I don't know. That's gonna be my first. So this is my first smartphone ever. It was free because I got on the family plan. It doesn't have a name. It's a Samsung A012, whatever. So my next phone I get to be the first proper smartphone I've ever had.
Yeah, with more than 12.
My current phone has 16 gigabytes for internal memory. My next one's gonna have 128. So
yeah, my phone. Yeah, the S21 Fan Edition. It's a good phone.
Nice.
Good camera. Yeah, that's what I got.
By the way, Jerrell, for like user interface stuff, I may need assistance.
I got you. Just get a case for it.
No. Like this program, the draft. Of
yeah. We're all in this together. So. All right. So let me know when you're logged in.
I'm logged in.
All right. I'm gonna hit the draft button. We'll see who goes first.
Oh, I need to go to my leagues, huh?
That would help.
Okay, draft is currently in progress. Next to draft is David Martinez. To select the next player's game for them, select next game under draft management in the sidebar.
So I have to tell you, and then you do it. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh.
Okay. So this hype factor is what people are like saying the rating for it is. So, I'm just going to take one of my favorites, My Love, one of my original games, and just so I can get some points on the board. I'm going to play risky a little bit later, but I am choosing The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Ooh.
That was going to be my first pick.
You motherfucker.
Ooh.
Am I feeling it? So, okay. So if I guess a number for the... Oh, no, I don't... Whatever it gets is the points I get, right? Whatever, like, the Open Critic rates it is the points I get. Okay.
Correct. All right. Let's see. Does it allow you where you can choose that game, or does it say that I have to do it?
I mean, I could... I'm going to select it.
Okay. Go ahead and select.
Wait, how do you...
Draft game.
Are there games in a list or something?
Yeah.
Where?
So, like, when you load the page, you go up above standings.
Yeah.
It says draft in session, and I just kind of clicked it, and then I chose. So,
Like draft game?
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So I guess next is...
Oh.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Mind you, spoiler, as much as I play games, I had a flip phone a few years ago, so I'm behind of programs and apps.
Sorry.
So Jerrell, so
You're like,
like,
what'd you? What?
you have regular games and the new game franchise. Do you have to choose one for each section? Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. What is it?
All right. So let's see. Next draft. What's the publishers? That's you, Arthur.
That's also that's a general question. I have no idea what a publisher is in the sense of a draft. Is that supposed to be like my team name?
I guess
believe
so, bro.
it. Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you want to represent, bro.
I don't know because it was like user and publisher. I'm just like EA. I don't one sec. I have a list. Okay.
I wish there's a time
Maybe that's like-
timer.
Maybe it's like the name of a game company, you know, the publisher, or like names put it out. So
I do want to get like points on the board early too.
don't copy my strategy.
We had the same strategy. We both had the number one pick.
No, no.
The same
It seems like you copy my idea. You know,
Don't be copying now.
See, you knew I was looking at Zelda because you saw the red. You said you saw the red Nintendo website light fleck for my glasses. You know, I was looking at Nintendo over there. Okay. Okay, it's not on the list. Wait, sorry. So it's not on the list. I just type it.
I guess so.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Oh man. I look up to Google the name. It has a weird name. You'll know once I find it. No. I'm gonna go with the game I have to Google because its name is not 2, by the way. Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
That's a good one.
I mean, that's a good pick, Arthur. I'm not gonna
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Definitely should get above a 70.
That first game had all the earmarks to fail, and it just didn't. Star Wars and EA, and it's like, boom.
Yeah,
Respawn did it, man. So
that's true. Very, very true.
yeah, I think it's like a solid 80 right there.
Draft game.
All right.
Boom. I'm on the board.
Okay.
All right. So
What you got?
I'm going to pick Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, you mother!
I almost did that to take away from church, taking my Zelda.
Oh, that was close. That was a good one. Ooh. Okay.
I had to do it.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's a good pick. Let's see. Do I have to refresh my page? No, it's doing the thing. Cool.
I drafted already. Let's see.
And then as we go more and more, we get more a little quicker with it because now we know how the system works, what the screen looks like. We know what we're doing. Now we do.
Right, exactly. Let's see. Oh, I guess I'm the next one in the skin here.
Wait, you go again?
Oh, does it snake back around?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it does. I am also
Actually, that's fair, Mr. First Pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm a legend, bro. He said it at the beginning of the podcast.
yes. I'm gonna choose Street Fighter 6. I think this one's gonna.
Ooh.
I think this one's gonna be good.
Another game off my list.
I mean, that's brave of you, man. Because Street Fighter 5, you know, wait, did you choose it already? Like,
I did.
It had bad reviews. They didn't like the original. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going for it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, it's my turn to draft.
Yeah, round 2.
I'm looking at a game. You know what? This one, hope and a prayer. I'm picking with my heart. I'm picking with my heart here.
What you got? What you got?
I'll go with my boy Idris Elba, Cyberpunk DLC.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
Wait, did I click it? It's not showing up. Oh. I get one expansion. Okay, I see that now.
Okay,
Nice.
one expansion. Okay. So what's the okay.
So Church, if you go down to colors mean stuff. So like EXP is expansion, so you can only pick one expansion.
Oh, okay.
That was my face too.
Au contraire. Okay. David Martinez.
I will say while he does that, watching the game, watching the recap because I didn't watch it live. The recap of the Game Awards and show Idris Elba with Cyberpunk at the Game Awards. It felt like day one what Cyberpunk should have been all along.
Yeah,
you're breathtaking. it just warmed me. Like, yes, let's go.
I'm excited for that DLC actually because I like Cyberpunk. That was a good game,
dude. I want Idris in more of my games, man. He's Knuckles.
He's killing it. He's killing the game.
Yeah, this is actually this is crazy. Hold on.
It's getting harder.
I know it's getting harder. Like there's a lot of good games coming out that may or may not.
Right.
I want this game to come out, but I ain't sure about it.
Dude, once Jerrell said the counter pick, I questioned my list hard.
Yeah. Dude.
Spoiler, the developers of one of my games on my list is at war.
Oh, shit.
Jerrell,
wait, so
John,
does the system already prevent me from picking games that could be re-releases or remakes?
I think it should set that stuff up already.
If not, honor system.
Okay, then this is the game I'm trying to pick. I'm trying to pick Like a Dragon Ishin. But that was released in Japan previously, right? And is now coming to like America.
That would be a port.
Yeah.
Is it a port?
Yeah.
Is it a port?
In theory. I mean, you can try to select it. I thought I have it set up where it would deny that, but
if not, how about this? We'll allow it.
we'll allow it once. Yeah.
Because you revealed your pick.
Yeah.
If you want it, we'll honor it. Moving forward, national ports.
Okay.
Or national releases.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Let me see if I can draft it.
Fair question. Draw goes, now you can't use it. Boom, my game.
Counter pick.
Oh, it's a flex shot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is. The flex shot is remake, partial remake, director's cut. Okay. That's the category. Okay.
Right on.
What's up, babe?
Okay. My turn.
You
You know what? I'm going with this one. Wait. It says you're up again, Mr. Church.
Oh, it's my turn again?
Yeah.
That's what it says.
So my bad.
All good. None of us expected it.
Yeah. Yes.
Talking to my lady real quick. But she did give me a good idea, you know.
Okay. I got some insider trading happening.
I mean, no, allegedly. Let's go with I'm gonna go on the expansion. Dang. You know what? I'm doing it. Destiny 2, Lightfall, the expansion coming out February.
Oh.
The game's been on a crescendo. You know, Witch Queen was good. This is the last of the story, so it's gonna go out with a bang, man.
All right.
So
I'll say that's a safe bet because I don't think it's gonna be horrible, but its fans will praise it.
okay.
What's the publisher? You're up.
Yes, I am. I'm going with the most not, yet at the same time, totally a BioShock game, Atomic Heart.
Son of a bitch.
I saw that too. Oh, that's a risk, man. But I like it. I like it. Play dangerous, man. Woo.
I like how the developer said we're not a BioShock game. 2 days later, the gameplay trailer releases, and everyone's like, "Dude, that BioShock looking game looks great." Everyone said.
All right. I am going for Redfall.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Good pick. Nice pick.
The first Bethesda game's on the board, boys.
Yeah.
Please, God.
First Bethesda game's on the board.
I guess I could draft one more.
It's Arcane. They won Game of the Year with Deathloop, right? So
yeah.
So
now on Game Pass, by the way.
I beat.
It's having me choose again. This is a risky one. Really, really risky one. I'm gonna go for it. Diablo 4.
Damn it.
I think they're gonna get it right.
It's the microtransactions. Like, is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad?
Here's the thing. Remember, if that might be that I wasn't always worried about that, but I'm like, Diablo hasn't had like good console launches in years.
I think Diablo 3 didn't start out good either.
Years ago, it did. After 2 remakes ago, yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Yes, Diablo 3 was good, but if you really think about it, Diablo 3 was a long time ago, and they've had a lot of failures since then.
Yeah. I'm hoping for the best.
Diablo 2 remake, yeah, it's playable.
I don't know.
Kind of
Does
sort of.
Diablo sound like a counter pick? I don't know.
Again, this is with my heart. You know, me and Jerrell, I love indie. I might take another game unintentionally from Church here.
Oh, you son of a gun. You bastard.
Yeah.
Blasphemy.
Hollow Knight, Silk Song.
Oh, we gotta choose that one.
Dude, I was gonna pick it, but I've been waiting for that game for too long. I honestly, I'm gonna counter pick that against you. I don't believe it's coming out. What is the release date?
These are all good questions. Is there a TBA on it? I'm not sure what this was.
Well, I was gonna say with my list. I mean, with our list, TBA is on a lot of stuff.
Shit.
It's not a lot.
David Martinez.
Let's do this. Okay, so I'm looking at games right now. Dang, some of these games don't have a date. Yeah, you know.
Some. The word is most.
Yeah. And that's not even to include the ones that will be announced to come out this year, too. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, man, some of these, I for sure think these games will get pushed out.
I'm surprised you didn't choose your boy already, Arthur. Good old, you know.
No,
I won't say because it might fuck some shit up. But.
Don't be afraid.
Pick your pick. Ask Allie. Pick a pick. Greenlight. Ask Allie if it means changing conversation. Allie.
Hi, Allie. Congratulations.
Jerrell said congratulations.
Thank you.
Because you're so lucky to be.
You're lucky the camera and the 7 chapters. What may have happened if that wasn't it?
Hey man, 48 laws of power. You know, pick your battles. And I chose wisely. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still looking. I'm gonna
get your shit together.
Dude, it's controversial. It's like there's like so
very
many
intense.
games.
It's very intense.
All I know ever since I got here for the past like 5 minutes. You're the one that spent my game on it.
No, I haven't, man. They stole all my games, bro.
Whatever, Legend of Zelda 2.
See, you just talking shit. That's my baby, man. That's my baby.
Don't you forget it for the rest of your life.
Does this have a release date?
You're asking the wrong questions, my dude.
So, I'm gonna choose this one. This is my first risk. Okay. But I believe in the developers. And I believe that it's actually going to come out this year, even though they haven't announced a date. It's TBA, but I believe in it. And that is Hades 2.
Hades 2.
That's, I think, the first true risk there.
I think so. I think it's a sequel.
I think
I think
a lot
assets already exist. The gameplay, they know what they're doing already. So I feel like that quick turnaround is going to come. You know,
I feel you, and I think I know what I'm going to counterpick. But yeah.
Oh no! Man.
Also,
Mr.
Church, who's quick. Mr. Church, who's quick with the picks. You're up again.
Oh my God, guys! Oh my God! I apologize. You know, keep the audience entertained. I'm trying to figure it out. Under pressure, but this game does look good, and I think, dude, I don't know. This one's a tough one. It's either going to be good or no, it's going to be bad, man. It's like a court following. They're going to tear it to pieces, bro. They're going to tear it to pieces. I bet it's going to be a decent game too. But whatever.
Remember, we're not using Metacritic, so review bombing isn't really a thing.
All right, here we go then. Does this have a release date? Yeah. I mean,
does it though? Does it?
Does it though? Not really.
Does it really? Is that really the release date?
Because you all remember the trailer. You all remember the trailers when my game Atomic Heart was supposed to come out Ember of 22.
Yeah. Another rest pick. Lies of P is one of the shows.
Dude, that game looks good.
Okay. It does. It's Pinocchio. It's a Dark Souls, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But like the Souls community, if it's not from software, are they going to tear it to shreds? That's the concern.
See, I was going to do this later, but man, see, you're talking about from the actual makers of a Souls game. I mean, they do have one coming out.
All right.
And that game is Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
That's Ninja Theory.
I thought it was Bloodborne. It was by the makers of Bloodborne.
From Software did Bloodborne. Ninja Theory did Neo 1 and 2. So Wulong is like a follow-up to that type of gameplay style.
Oh, then the trailer.
Good game. Yeah, I'm excited for that one too. Yeah.
But that for my game, for me, that's my wild card. Just because that's a game I really don't know too much about.
Gotta keep a joke in the deck, man. I'm right there with you.
All right. So this is a game that I have been a supporter for a while.
Okay.
Ignorantly, even if you will.
Oh, I know what's coming.
I'm gonna stick to my guns.
Okay.
Put my dick on the table. Choosing Starfield.
Let it hang. You doing Starfield?
Let's see. Contrastly, let's see.
Well, hold on. Isn't it interesting that none of us chose Starfield this late into it? Like,
I was scared during mid episode. I was layoffs. Will it come out now?
It took a while, but let it be known both of Bethesda's big contenders are on the board.
Yeah,
we did.
Another game that I know that will score high because this game historically has always scored high. I'm gonna choose Pikmin 4.
Oh, that's coming out this year?
I learned that game's coming out as Church considers a counterpick. Okay. If Jerrell's going ignorantly blindly with his heart, this will shock no one.
Dead Island 2.
Dead Island 2.
Bro.
Church, you think you wait along for a game?
Bitch.
You think you wait along for a game, Church? I was there. I watched the E3 live when there was a man running down Santa Monica Beach.
All right, get in line, young man. I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. Like, what are you talking about? You think talk about long waits? Long waits?
I'm gonna have 5 kids before the next sequel.
What are you talking about? That's light one. $9 That's light.
That's light work. That's hilarious. All right, sir, you're up, Dave Martinez.
All right. Cycling through real quick. So do we fill out an entire? Because I watched the kind of funny show too, right?
Yeah.
Are we picking everything now, or there's going to be like some? Because we have a budget for money,
right?
Like, I just want to know how many draft picks I have left.
I think I want to say it's the I want to say it's the main
3,
ones, right?
4, 5. So I guess the question I have following his too: are we filling the card or just doing our 9?
I think we're just doing the 9. I think we're just doing
Okay.
9.
Let's just do the 9 our way, or like like if it goes to, it assigns to a category, But
I know
I'm happy. Also, be real, I don't think I got enough on my list to fill a card.
Yeah,
I'm just being honest.
because there are going to be some spaces because the games are going to be announced, and then we can kind of reconvene, and you can do bids for certain games.
Here's what we'll do. Here's what we do. We got the draft.
5.
Trade deadline. Let's do that.
Okay. So I got 4 more to pick.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be a risk, but also pretty solid if it does actually hit. And I think it might actually do because they don't have anything on their plate right now. I'm going with Spider-Man 2 from Sony.
Oh, that's a good contender.
Very
that's
nice.
Solid. Yeah, contender there. And that's David, hopefully you have a backup because you go on the board again.
Okay. I'm in second place with the projected points to win so far.
Ooh.
Is that what that line is? Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm. So, dang. Yo, man.
I'm in last. Ugh.
Still looking at it. What's the why? What is YI? What is this?
That's a good question. Let me see.
What is the YI?
Yearly installment.
Oh, okay.
So like a
game. FIFA. Call of Duty counts. Call of Duty is a yearly installment. It is.
That's true. For 18 years, it's been coming out every year.
Not anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil. And Phil we trust. I need an Xbox coin that says that.
I should have made my watch list a little bit ahead of time. Apologize, guys.
No worries.
Let's see.
What a guess.
Yo.
For the record, for those who couldn't hear, you just hear Ellie in the background. What a guest!
Yeah, it's like, Yo's podcast is crazy.
What are we doing for dinner?
She's like, Grubhub.
I'll just say I still got. I don't know here. At least my 2 senses. I don't know how good they do, but I got 3 on deck with Spitfire. But again, reviews are not, release date or not.
I'm gonna pick something, and it's gonna be a good game. It's a safe bet, but it's the only thing that stands out.
What you got?
And that's the Resident Evil 4 remake, right? Like, that's gonna be a solid, right? They can't mess that up, right? Oh no, sorry, we can't do a remake, right?
We can't do remakes.
No, sir. So no Dead Space.
How do I go? So can you go back?
Oh, Jill, you might have
cancel
help
my draft.
because
sorry.
Let's see.
Admin. We need the mod to come in.
Pause that.
Pause draft recent draft player. Set on draft. No idea. I'll allow it this one. It's just the next round because it's not letting me remove.
Maybe afterwards you can edit it. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yo, if it gets a 10 out of 10, I'm protesting.
I mean,
it's like, God damn, how many points is the highest reviewed game this year?
Hey, Jerrell, if it's the Resident Evil 2 remake,
just counterpick it.
If it's the Resident Evil 3 remake, I'll let it fly.
My bad.
That's hilarious. No worries.
All right, I had another one. Where'd it go? Yep, I had another one. Where'd it go? I think it's gonna do well. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's different.
Okay.
Again, I'm biasly just no Game Pass games releases off the top of my head, pretty much. Minecraft Legends.
Oh wow.
That's a good pick.
Sleeper pick right there. Okay.
Let's see. This one here is a game we've talked about briefly, Arthur, or at least we've mentioned it before here on the show. I think it's going to have a decent fan base. Nonetheless, praying it comes out this year. Go for Armored Core 6.
Ooh. Hey, for the record, that is truly a Souls game.
Yeah.
That is a Armored Core by From Software.
Definitely is.
Now you just made me excited for the game again. And also, Jerrell, round we go. You're back up.
Yes, sir. Next one. Surprised no one's chosen this one yet. It is TBA. Well, it's coming out. I have faith that it's coming out this year.
He sounds excitedly, confidently.
Or you know what? Hang on. I might not choose that one. There's another game. All right, I'm choosing this one. This one has a date. It looks great. And I think it's going to do even better than it did for the first one. I'm going to choose Sons of the Forest.
Okay, well, there goes my other one of 3 games I had off that. Okay, and
the game looks scary as shit.
I'm going with a game that I think will come out and I think will be fun. How it's reviewed, I don't know. Let's take a look of how this will do.
Our projected plans.
And I'm nervous, but I'm going with it. Skull and Bones.
Okay.
Bro, you are brave, man. Okay.
David Martinez.
I mean, we're getting down to the wire. It's hard.
Yep.
Actually, how many do I left? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, am I done? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. I got one more left.
One more.
I didn't.
6, 7.
I should have noticed that before I picked Skull and Bones.
Yeah, I'm looking through real quick. I mean, I think that would do pretty well. The first one did good. I'm surprised. Okay.
I think Church has 2 solid games that's going to carry him.
All right, here we go. I'm doing this is a tough one, but I believe is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Oh, you're brave, boy.
You tell him I'm brave with Skull and Bones.
I'm like, see you 2024.
I mean, Church, I'm brave. We've seen gameplay for a long time.
It looked good.
It looks great.
It looks good.
Yeah,
it's from the A studio. It's from the A studio, so you gotta have faith, man.
Yeah.
Arkham Knight was good.
It looks like you're back on the board.
I mean, I have faith in Gordon Ramsay, but he can't cook. He can't bake a cake in 5 minutes.
All right, it's this guy.
That's hilarious.
So should I play it safe or should I do a risk, guys?
Hold on a second. Because you still got slots, right? 1, 2, 3.
I think I got 1 left.
5, 6.
It's going to 9.
8. Yep, you're on your last one. Last pick.
So should I play it safe or should I?
I do. I think with all of us, our last few picks, we're just hoping it comes out. Let's just be real.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna choose. I want that game to come out too. Where did it go?
I only have like one game that might like blockbuster, like quality, do good. The rest are just like pass. So
I'm going Octopath Traveler too. we go.
All right. What's the publish, yeah?
My last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like I said, I don't have any like big boom contenders, but again, it's just launch dates now. It just I have a totally play it safe, boring, bland, blah. Or what else do I got? Or a huge risk.
And I really want a Hollow Knight.
I really would have liked either Zelda or Spider-Man 2. We can all go rewatchers. Okay.
Final Fantasy 16, you got it.
I'm going. It's a safe in terms of date. It's a risk in terms of quality. But I'm curious. No, I'm gonna go safe. I'm just gonna go boring safe. I'm going boring safe. I don't care.
Do it.
Boring safe for my last pick.
What you got?
I think it might. I'm hoping the gameplay is what carries it. The gameplay looks fun. From my scene, I'm going with Hogwarts Legacy for my last pick.
Brave man.
So much courage. Woo.
Game,
Did it look better than it did?
Yeah. Honestly, when they showed the fights and the gameplay, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Again, I'm not buying it. You can show me. Arguably, the only thing in the next 2 years I'm buying day one pre-ordering is Dead Island.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna play this one. I'm gonna play this one safe. Going for Metal Slug Tactics.
Okay.
All right, so now it's time to draft counter picks.
So, is there a risk with our counter picks? So if I choose something and I'm wrong,
I think it's like double or nothing almost. So it's like if you're wrong, then no, then I think I don't think you get any points. If I'm not mistaken, let me see.
I'll say because there's no punishment. That's not double or nothing.
So the slots counter pick was for bet against the game. See facts. No, you're right. It's not double or nothing. It's a good question. I'll have to look up the FAQs afterwards. Let me see.
see public actions, see league options, league overrides. Okay.
I'm going to counter Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh. Oh, okay. To be fair, I did call it. I'm like,
oh
no,
man,
wait,
I know what you're gonna counter pick, you asshole.
No, I'm not counter. No, I'm not counter. Wait,
I know what you're gonna counter.
I'm not.
Do
I'm
it.
not counter picking.
Do
I'm
it.
not counter picking you, Jerrell. I'm not. This is based on out of left field. I didn't expect it to see on the board. To be fair, I'm counter picking Hades too.
Oh.
So, okay. Some haterade today. You got some drinking.
Are those both yours?
They're both mine, baby.
It's not based on quality. It's based on release date.
They don't want to see me shine. So, is the counter picks based off of the not releasing? Is that
Yes.
I'm not releasing.
Yeah.
so there's
correct.
no points if I go okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my counter pick, let me go down the list.
So you motherfuckers.
Right? Those counter picks today's on yours. It's like
I was say there's definitely one or two of Jerrell's list I'm looking at.
No, I know. I know what he's gonna gun for, man. I know what he's gonna gun for.
Oh my god. Yeah. So okay. Here we go.
Jerrell,
Is
he
this
doesn't
the
pick
one?
it. I'm picking it.
Is this the one?
If he doesn't pick it,
Is
I'm
this the
picking
one
it.
that was? Is this the one that was just got announced? Is this the one at the game show? Yeah, it definitely is. Announcement change. Yeah, yeah. It would go. Jerrell is getting the first one. So what me do?
Which one?
I'm choosing Armacore. Like Armacore 5. Dude, that's not coming out this year. We announce it, and then it takes another year for it to come out.
I thought we got one more.
The draft is complete. From here, you can make bids for games that were not drafted. However, you may want to hold on to your available budget until later in the year.
Oh, I thought I had one more counter pick.
I thought I had one counter pick.
Jerrell, you're so lucky.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, congrats. We did our first draft.
Okay.
You're lucky. You're Diablo 4 would have been all mine.
I thought you were gonna do Starfield. I was like, oh, he's gonna fuck me.
Microsoft's pulled Halo. If Microsoft has pulled a Halo Infinite, they've backed themselves into a corner. They have to release it. Yeah, they just have to.
That's true.
But Diablo 4, we've only seen like 60 seconds of cinematics. If you know Blizzard, cinematics means nothing.
Yes,
dude,
that's true.
Like a lot of gameplay for Diablo 4, bro.
Really?
Have you not been? Yeah, there's like
I think the last,
dude, has my YouTube algorithms and everything been failing me?
I think the last few, like conventions or whatever, they showed some good.
I literally searched Diablo 4 the other day, and all I got was cinematic trailers.
They do like a monthly like diary update. It's like 45 minutes. So they announced all the new characters. They've done like it's like 3 hours of Diablo 4 you can watch all the time in 4K.
Oh, okay, then. Yeah. YouTube. I've like the other day, like I literally YouTube just Diablo 4, and my results were like nothing but cinematic trailers.
Yeah.
Oh, YouTube. Please make me look stupid.
Because
I literally like I YouTube like Diablo 4, and it was all cinematic trailers, and I'm like, how are we getting all cinematic trailers? The game's not out because there's been a lot more cinematic trailers.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, that is the start of the video game draft. And we will keep tabs on that throughout the year for 2023. But again, this is going to conclude the Games for Life podcast each and every Friday/Saturday, discussing all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jerrell. With me is my co-host, Arthur and Church. Thank you for being a part of this, man.
Yeah.
And Elliot. All right.
Hey, Jerrell, can I say one last thing?
Yes.
Just on the draft?
Yes.
Just FYI, on the draft, as is, projected points before you close out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As of right now, projected points, Church is ahead with 136. Jerrell's projected in second, 129. And your boys bring up the rear, 112.
All right, we'll see what happens. All right, well, thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.